Lesson 2-4, writing linear equations. Today we're going to write the equation of a line if we're given the slope and a point on the line, or also if we have 2 points on the line. So this is slope-intercept form of an equation. The name tells you kind of what it is. Y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope of the line and b is the y-intercept of the line. This is a helpful form because it's easy to graph the line if the equation is in this form. You can also type it into your calculator in the y equals. The point slope form of a linear equation is also helpful. This is kind of where I start, my starting point, especially if I have the slope and I have a point on the line. You can plug in the slope for m, and if you know a point on the line, you can plug in the coordinates here, x and y. So here's an example. We want to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that has the slope -3/2 and the point -4, 1. I always like to start with point slope form. So I'll write it up here again. That was y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, this first y is just the y in your equation. The next y is the y value of the ordered pair. That would be this 1 here. So we're going to start off with y minus 1 equals, m is the slope of the line, that's -3/2. And then in parentheses, again, x is the x in your equation. You're going to subtract, x sub 1 represents the x coordinate of your ordered pair. And in this case, that's -4. So x minus -4, or x plus 4. The two negatives will make a positive. Okay, now all we need to do is put it into slope-intercept form, which means solve the equation for y. The first step needs to be distributing the slope. So I'm going to multiply -3/2 times x and then -3/2 times 4. So we get -3/2x minus 6. And this side stays the same, y minus 1. My last step is to solve for y, so I'm going to add 1. Add 1 over here. And our equation in slope-intercept form is y equals -3/2 x minus 5. So this form tells you that the slope is -3/2 and the y-intercept is -5. And so now it's really easy to graph. We're going to worry about that another day. Here's another example. The slope this time is 4/3, and our ordered pair is 3, 2. The x value is 3, the y value is 2. Let's use point slope form to get started here. So you start with y minus your y value, which is 2. Set it equal to the slope, 4/3, times in parentheses x minus your x value, which is 3. Okay? After you have it set up, distribute where you see the parentheses, so y minus 2 equals 4/3 x minus 4. 4/3 times 3 is 4. And now finally solve for y. So I'm going to add 2 on both sides. Those cancel out, and y equals 4/3 x, and then -4 plus 2 is -2. Okay, so you can use point slope to get started. It's my favorite way to get started, but then your final answer needs to be in slope-intercept form. So distribute and solve for y, and you've got it. In example 2, we're going to write an equation given 2 points on the line. So the only difference here is we know 2 points instead of 1, and we don't know the slope. So your first step is going to have to be finding the slope. Okay, so the slope m is the difference of the y values, 5 minus 4, over the difference of the x values, -4 minus -1. And I get 1 over -3, or -1/3 for my slope. Now we can go back and use the point slope form for an equation of a line, just like we did in example 1. So pick an ordered pair that you want to use. It won't matter which one you use. I'm going to choose this first ordered pair for my x and y values, and then I know that m equals -1/3. So I'm going to set it up exactly like I did the last two problems. Start with y minus the y value, set it equal to the slope times, in parentheses, x minus the x value. And again, anytime you're subtracting a negative, you're really just adding that number, okay? All right, so I have to distribute first before I move the 4 over. So I'm going to take -1/3 times x, and then -1/3 times +1. So I get -1/3. Now solve for y. I just need to move this number to the other side, so I'm going to add 4. Add 4. And my equation is y equals -1/3 x. And if I'm taking -1/3 plus 4, it's going to leave me with +3 2/3 as my b value, my y-intercept. There you go. All right, last one. I've got two ordered pairs again, so these 2 points form a line, and the question is, what's the equation of that line? I first need to figure out the slope of the line using the slope formula. So m equals the difference of the y values, -5 minus 3, over the difference of the x values, -4 minus 2. -5 minus 3 gives me -8. -4 minus 2 gives me -6. And I can reduce this to 4/3, +4/3. That's m. That's my slope. I'm going to pick an ordered pair, and I'm going to pick 2, 3 because these are positive values. They're going to be easier for me to work with. And I'm going to set up my equation using point slope form. Y minus 3 equals 4/3 times, in parentheses, x minus 2. You can see that I've used the x value and the y value from this ordered pair. I don't need to do anything with this one. I just need 1 point and the slope. Okay, next comes distributive property. It's the same steps every time. So y minus 3 equals 4/3 times x minus 4/3 times 2. That's really just 8/3, 8/3, if I leave it as an improper fraction. Now I'm going to add 3 on each side. And I get y equals 4/3 x. And now -8/3 plus 3 leaves me with +1/3. There's our equation. And again, this tells you that the slope is 4/3, and the value on the end here is the y-intercept. 1/3 is the y-intercept. Now you try these two problems. Follow examples 1 and 2 and have these completed for class.